For over a century, the Colorado River has carved its path through the American West, a vital artery sustaining life in an arid landscape. Its story is one of ambition, ingenuity, and a relentless pursuit of control. The Colorado River has been the West's lifeline, a source of water for agriculture, industry, and burgeoning cities. Its waters have quenched the thirst of millions, transforming deserts into fertile fields and powering economies across the region. Tamed by dams, colossal structures of concrete and steel, the river's flow was meticulously regulated. Its waters were stored in vast reservoirs, artificial lakes designed to buffer against drought and ensure a steady supply. And engineered to deliver certainty in a dry land, a network of canals and pipelines crisscrossed the landscape, carrying water to distant farms and urban centers. This intricate system became the backbone of the West's prosperity. We built Hoover and Glen Canyon, monuments to human engineering, symbols of our ability to conquer nature's challenges. These dams were seen as the key to unlocking the West's potential, filled Lake Mead and Lake Powell, creating immense reservoirs that held trillions of gallons of water, promising a secure future for generations to come. These lakes became recreational havens, attracting tourists and boosting local economies, and believed we'd conquered nature, that we had mastered the art of water management and secured our place in this arid land. We harnessed the river's power to generate electricity, fueling our homes and industries. For decades, the system seemed unshakable, a testament to human ingenuity and a guarantee of continued prosperity. The river flowed steadily, providing a reliable source of water and power. Water flowed, turbines spun, and cities thrived, a symbiotic relationship between man and nature, or so we thought. The Southwest blossomed, becoming a vibrant hub of innovation and growth. But now, that illusion of control is gone, shattered by the harsh realities of a changing climate and unsustainable water use. The cracks in the system are becoming increasingly visible. The river's behavior has shifted dramatically, its once reliable flow dwindling to a trickle in many areas. The consequences are far-reaching, threatening the livelihoods of farmers, the stability of cities, and the health of the environment. Faster than anyone expected, the water levels in the reservoirs are plummeting, revealing the stark reality of our predicament. The speed of this decline has caught many by surprise, forcing us to confront the urgency of the situation. Lake Mead's exposed white bathtub ring, a stark reminder of the water that once was, now a ghostly outline on the canyon walls. This ring serves as a visual representation of the immense water loss and the severity of the drought. Is more than a drought marker, it's a symbol of our unsustainable practices and a warning of what's to come if we don't change course. It highlights the urgent need for innovative solutions and responsible water management. It's a warning, etched in stone, a message from the river itself, urging us to reconsider our relationship with this precious resource. The starkness of the landscape serves as a constant reminder of the challenges we face. The river is sending a message of urgency, a plea for immediate action to conserve water, adapt to the changing climate, and find sustainable solutions for the future. We must heed this warning and act decisively. We always knew the Colorado was overpromised, that the demands on its water exceeded its natural capacity. The complex system of water rights and allocations has created a situation where there simply isn't enough water to go around. And that climate change would shrink its flow, exacerbating the existing problems and pushing the system to its breaking point. Rising temperatures, reduced snowpack, and increased evaporation are all contributing to the decline of the river. But the speed of decline, the sheer velocity of the crisis has taken everyone by surprise. The rate at which the reservoirs are emptying is alarming, raising serious concerns about the future of water availability in the region. Has shocked even the experts, the scientists and engineers who have dedicated their lives to understanding and managing the Colorado River. They are now grappling with the reality that their models and predictions have underestimated the severity of the situation. Reservoirs once seen as salvation, as symbols of our ability to control and manage water resources, are now revealing their limitations. The promise of endless water has proven to be an illusion, are now at historic lows, exposing the vulnerability of our water supply and the urgent need for a new approach. The consequences of these low levels are far-reaching, impacting agriculture, energy production, and the overall economy of the region. This isn't just another dry spell, a temporary fluctuation in water availability. This is a fundamental shift in the climate and a sign that the old ways of managing water are no longer sustainable. It's a paradigm shift, a complete transformation in our understanding of water resources and the challenges we face in a changing world. We must adapt to this new reality or face dire consequences. The foundations of water management in the West are crumbling, revealing the flaws in our system and the urgent need for investment in new infrastructure and innovative solutions. Our reliance on outdated infrastructure is exacerbating the crisis. Our belief in total control, in our ability to engineer our way out of any problem, is being challenged by the forces of nature. We must recognize the limits of our technology and embrace a more sustainable approach. Is being replaced by a humbling new reality, a recognition that we are not masters of nature, but rather a part of it, and that our actions have consequences. We must learn to live in harmony with the environment, not in opposition to it. The Colorado River is reminding us, in its diminished flow and receding waters, of its power and its importance. It is a force to be reckoned with, not a resource to be exploited. It's a force of nature, not just a resource to be managed, a living entity with its own needs and its own rhythms. We must respect its natural processes and work to restore its health. We must confront the limits of our engineering and adapt, fast, embracing new technologies, implementing conservation measures, and rethinking our relationship with water. The future of the West depends on our ability to adapt to this new reality. The story of the river is no longer about mastery, about our ability to control and manipulate nature. It's a story about resilience, adaptation, and the need to find a more sustainable path forward. But survival, about ensuring that future generations have access to this vital resource. It's a call to action, a challenge to our ingenuity, and our commitment to a sustainable future. The future is arriving much faster than we imagined, demanding that we act now to protect the Colorado River and secure the future of the American West. The time for complacency is over. The time for action is now. The Colorado River, a lifeline for millions and a symbol of the American West, is facing an unprecedented crisis. Its decline has been shockingly swift, a stark reminder of the escalating impacts of climate change. We're witnessing a transformation of this vital waterway, one that demands immediate attention and a fundamental shift in how we manage this precious resource. The speed of this decline is truly alarming. Between 2020 and 2022, the situation went from concerning to critical in what felt like the blink of an eye. The data paints a clear picture. The river system is under immense stress, and the consequences are far-reaching. The two largest reservoirs in the Colorado River Basin, Lake Mead and Lake Powell, lost water at an unprecedented rate, a dramatic illustration of the severity of the drought. The bathtub rings around these massive lakes tell a story of relentless depletion. Water levels have been dropping to levels not seen since their creation, exposing infrastructure and raising serious questions about the future of water storage in the region. These reservoirs, once symbols of abundance, are now stark reminders of scarcity. This wasn't a slow decline, it was a freefall, a rapid descent into a crisis that caught many by surprise. The speed at which the water disappeared was simply astonishing. The Colorado River system is the lifeblood that supplies 40 million people and irrigates millions of acres of farmland, supporting a significant portion of the nation's food supply. This vital system was suddenly in crisis, threatening communities, agriculture, and the environment. The stakes are incredibly high. A record snowpack in 2023 offered brief relief, a temporary reprieve from the relentless drought. But even this exceptional snow year didn't solve the underlying problem. It merely delayed the inevitable, highlighting the need for long-term solutions. The long-term trend is clear. The entire Colorado River Basin is drying out, a consequence of decades of overuse and a changing climate. This aridification is primarily driven by rising temperatures, which are exacerbating the effects of drought. Even good snow years now yield less runoff into the river system, a troubling sign for the future. This is because thirsty soils and hotter air soak up more water before it can reach the river, reducing the overall flow. The crisis accelerated beyond all predictions, surpassing even the most pessimistic forecasts. The data is undeniable. Climate change is no longer a distant threat. It's here, impacting the Colorado River system in profound and measurable ways. It's shrinking the river in real time, transforming the landscape and threatening the delicate balance of the ecosystem. In response, the federal government has imposed mandatory water cuts for the first time, a drastic measure aimed at stabilizing the system. These cuts are especially hitting Arizona, which relies heavily on the Colorado River for its water supply. Emergency releases from upstream reservoirs are now being implemented and are now needed just to keep the system functioning and prevent even more drastic consequences. These are not routine adjustments, they're last-ditch efforts, signs of a system under immense pressure. Water managers are in crisis mode, scrambling to respond to the ever-changing conditions. They are reacting instead of planning, highlighting the urgent need for a more proactive and sustainable approach. The river is changing faster than our institutions can keep up, creating a significant challenge for policymakers and water managers. The old playbook no longer works. We need innovative solutions and a willingness to adapt to the new reality. We're in uncharted territory, facing a future where water scarcity will be the defining challenge of the American West. Scientists fully expected the Colorado River, a vital artery of the American Southwest, to shrink over time due to increasing demands and the looming effects of climate change, but the real shock came with the speed of the decline. It wasn't just shrinking, it was vanishing at an alarming rate. Climate models, the very tools designed to help us prepare, predicted a gradual and manageable decline, a slow burn that would give us ample time to adapt our water usage and infrastructure. This projected timeline was crucial, allowing for the implementation of new conservation strategies and the development of alternative water sources. Instead, the reality has been far more abrupt and severe. Rising temperatures, fueled by global warming and record-shattering heat waves, have become the norm, pushing the region into uncharted territory. These extreme conditions have slashed runoff from snowpack and rainfall far more than anticipated, leaving reservoirs depleted and riverbeds exposed. The atmosphere itself is thirstier, demanding more moisture, and the soils are parched, absorbing a significantly larger portion of the precious snowmelt before it even has a chance to reach the life-giving river. Natural variability, the inherent fluctuations in weather patterns, combined with a mega-drought layered on top of accelerating warming trends, has created a crisis of unprecedented scale, pushing the Colorado River system far outside the bounds of historical experience. The past, once a reliable guide for water management, is no longer a trustworthy indicator of what lies ahead. Science is now scrambling to build entirely new models that can accurately account for these rapid and compounding changes, incorporating factors previously considered outliers. We're learning in real time that climate change has the power to rewrite the rules of our environment overnight. The challenge now is to predict, and more importantly, to proactively prepare for, shifts that are coming faster and with greater intensity than ever before imagined. The crucial lesson we must learn is that we can no longer simply extrapolate from the past. The old assumptions no longer hold. We've entered a new era of climate uncertainty, and our scientific understanding, our models, and our preparedness strategies must urgently catch up to this rapidly evolving reality. The river's decline is visible everywhere. Empty boat ramps, shuttered marinas, and anxious communities. Farmers in central Arizona, with the most junior water rights, are fallowing fields and facing existential choices. For Native American tribes, the crisis threatens long-promised but undelivered water rights, water that is both a resource and a cultural lifeblood. Cities like Las Vegas and Phoenix, despite conservation, still depend on the river and now face an uncertain future. The psychological burden is real. Water security, once taken for granted, is now a daily worry. The crisis is no longer abstract. It's reshaping lives, economies, and identities across the West. The anxiety is shared by millions. The Colorado River's crisis isn't just a Western problem, it's national. The river's water grows much of America's winter produce. Shortages mean higher prices and supply chain shocks across the country. Hydropower from Hoover and Glen Canyon dams powers millions of homes. As water drops, so does clean energy, threatening the Western grid. Water insecurity can slow economic growth, deter investment, and ripple through industries from tech to tourism. The Colorado River is a test case for climate adaptation in the U.S. How we respond will set a precedent for managing scarce resources nationwide. If we succeed, we create a blueprint for resilience. If we fail, it's a warning for the entire country. The stakes are national and global. Everyone has a stake in the river's future. Amid crisis, there's progress. Cities like Las Vegas lead in water conservation, paying residents to remove lawns, recycling wastewater, and using less water even as they grow. Farmers are adopting drip irrigation, switching crops, and using sensors to save water, supported by new federal incentives. Policy is shifting from conflict to compensation, with voluntary water cuts and temporary agreements among states. These steps prove that conservation and prosperity can go hand in hand. But what's been done is just the beginning. Urban and agricultural programs must scale up. Temporary deals must become permanent, embedded in new river management rules. The solutions exist. We just need the will and urgency to match the scale of the problem. The river demands it. The time to act is now. Securing the river's future means embracing innovation. Cities are investing in advanced water recycling, turning wastewater into a drought-proof supply. Healthy forests in the Rockies, managed with thinning and prescribed burns, can boost water yield and protect against wildfires. Data science and AI are transforming water management. Real-time sensors and smart models help optimize every drop. Water markets allow flexible, voluntary transfers, letting water flow where it's needed most. These tools respect existing rights while rewarding conservation. The future is about precision, flexibility, and system-wide thinking. Innovation can stretch our supplies and build resilience. The old rules are gone. New solutions are essential. The river's survival depends on it. The Colorado River's future depends on collaboration, not competition. The crisis has shown that everyone, cities, farms, tribes, and the environment, is connected. Shared sacrifice and mutual benefit must guide negotiations. All water users must be part of the solution, and historical injustices, especially for Native American tribes, must be addressed. Trust is built through transparency and shared data. Productive solutions require all voices at the table: government, agriculture, environment, and communities. The challenge is a test of our civic capacity. We must forge new agreements for a hotter, drier century. Our shared future and the river's survival depend on it. Cooperation is no longer optional. The Colorado River's story is one of crisis but also of hope and opportunity. The shock of recent years has forced action and opened the door to real change. We see hope in desert landscaping, drip irrigation, and new agreements to share the burden. The solutions are here: conservation, recycling, watershed management. What's needed now is the will to act and a vision for the next generation. The river is not just a resource, but a living system that sustains us all. The future isn't written, it depends on choices we make today. The river's warning is also a chance to get it right. If we rise to the challenge, the Colorado can remain a source of life for generations. That is the river's hope, and it must be our promise.